Alright, we have kind of a special video today. It's actually going to be special for a few reasons, and the first thing I want to mention is that, yes, there will indeed be a short version of this video. I realize this one's going to be kind of long, there's going to be a lot of talking in this one. And so if you want to save some time and just see a straight-up review of this MRE, I'll put a link down below to the short version. As I said, this is going to be something kind of special, and the interesting thing is it's not really a very special menu. This is a genuine MRE, genuine US government MRE. It's menu number 16, rib-shaped barbecue flavor pork patty. Nothing too special there. And it's actually from 2014. There's a date code on it of 4085, meaning it was packaged on the 85th day of 2014. Alright, so the first thing that makes this a special review, as you probably saw at the beginning of the video, this is another in the series of MRE Review Redo, where I take a look at menus that I've done in the past. So that also doesn't seem very special. Basically, it seems like it's a repeat. And for years, I've known that I have done the barbecue pork patty in the past and have avoided doing it again. I've never reviewed one since then, and I've never even had one on my own since then. And it's actually a menu that I enjoy, so I kind of wanted to get back to it. And while looking back through my videos, I realized that the two times I did barbecue pork patties, the first one I did was actually in March of 2012, which is about 7.5 years ago. And part of the idea of doing the MRE Review Redo is to get a fresh take on something I did a long time ago. That first pork rib review was actually one of my early videos, and obviously I've kind of changed a lot since then, and my review style has changed, and it just seemed like a big good idea to try it out again. I'll put a link to the old 2012 review down below if you want to compare the two. And the other time that I did a pork rib was in July of 2012, 7 years ago, and that was kind of a different video. It wasn't actually a review. I was basically just taking a look at two TOTMs that had pork patties in them and comparing the other components, which are a little bit different. Which also brings me back to the fact that that original 2012 video wasn't even a genuine US issue MRE, it was a TOTM, which is actually a little bit different. So in a way, this doesn't really even need to be part of the MRE Review Redo series, because I've never actually done a full genuine MRE version of it as opposed to the TOTM. But anyway, that's the first thing that makes this kind of special. The other thing that makes it special is that this review is going to be part of a collaboration video with Multimagnum62. He has also done a review of this menu, and the plan is that we'll release our videos on the same day. So I actually don't know what he thought of his, and he doesn't know what I'm going to think of this one. But the whole idea of the collaboration is to get two different ideas, two different styles, two different tastes looking at the same menu. I don't think they're going to be the exact same menu because mine is from 2014 and I believe his is from 2017. So there may be a few minor changes or differences between the two menus. But I will also put a link to Magnum's review down below so you can compare the two if you feel like doing that. And then I guess the last thing that makes this kind of special is that part of the reason that I haven't revisited this menu for so long, besides the fact that I'd already done it, is because I was kind of waiting for McDonald's to re-release the McRib. This is called the rib-shaped barbecue flavored pork patty. Sometimes it's kind of a long name there, it's a bit cumbersome. Sometimes it's just called the pork rib, make it a little bit easier. And it seems to go by a few different names. But one of the nicknames for this one is the McRib, because the rib-shaped pork patty looks and tastes a lot like a McDonald's McRib. But I've never actually had a chance to compare the two, and I was hoping to do that, but unfortunately McDonald's doesn't currently have their McRib. But as it turns out, I wasn't aware of this, but Subway, I think it's recently introduced, I hadn't seen it before, this is my first time trying it, they've introduced a BBQ Rib Sandwich, which I believe is a pork rib. It doesn't actually say that on the menu, but I believe it's going to be a pork rib, kind of the same idea. So while this one has been sitting around for a little while and getting cold and getting kind of old, when I do the review, I'll also compare it with this Subway version, see how similar or different they are. But I guess that's enough of an introduction. And so now let's take a look for the MRE Review Redo and for the collaboration video and to compare with Subway. Let's take a look at menu number 16, the barbecue pork rib, also known as rib-shaped barbecue flavor pork patty. So this one's a little over 5 years old. Everything seems to smell okay inside. Here we have the, I guess I'll find the, one of the problems with these things, the pork patty, the beef patty, and a couple of the other things, is that they are actually the smallest entrees that you're going to find in an MRE. This one is only 2.6 ounces, whereas standard MRE entree is 8 ounces. But here we have the rib-shaped barbecue flavor pork patty with a date code of 4057. And here's the heating sleeve that has the ingredients and also the nutrition facts if you want to take a look at those. This is the rib-shaped barbecue flavor pork patty, caramel powder, and smoke flavor added. This is from Sapaco, which I failed to mention that the MRE is from Sapaco. I also have a side here of Santa Fe style rice and beans, 4036 for the date code on that. That should go pretty nice with this. And we have, oh good, this is the wheat snack bread twin pack. I like this because instead of getting 2 complete wheat snack breads, you get 2 sort of miniature wheat snack breads. They're just a lot skinnier, basically the thickness of one, but there's 2 of them in there. So if you're going to make a sandwich out of it, it's a little bit easier to eat. Especially getting a few less calories, but at least it's easier to eat. We also have kippered beef snack. Here's the card for the Santa Fe style rice and beans, and the ingredients, and the nutrition facts. And we have peanut butter. If you're going to make a sandwich out of the pork rib, you don't really have anything to put this on, but you can always just squeeze this right out of the package. Eat it that way. Yeah, we have apple jelly. I think we might have to use those. And since it is the pork rib, we do have barbecue sauce. And a tropical punch beverage base powder. No fruit juice. Oh, here we have Challenge Cool Mints with Caffeine. We have a flameless ration heater, 4024. Try a 5-year-old flameless ration heater to see how it works. The brown MRE spoon and a small accessory pack, which appears to have a second beverage in it. No coffee in this one, but in addition to the tropical punch, we're going to have, this feels a little bit caked in here, we have a sugar-free beverage base raspberry. And we have the gum, toilet paper, moist towelette, and salt. Really skipped the sugar, the creamer, and the coffee, and no matches either. Alright, here's everything that we're getting in this 2014 rib-shaped barbecue flavor pork patty MRE. Like I said, it's about 5 years old. And as far as Multi-Magnum 62, John, if you're watching, I'm looking forward to seeing how different this is from yours, or if it's exactly the same. And I'm also looking forward to seeing how this 5-year-old one has held up to time, as opposed to your 2017 one, which I hope was fine. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we'll start off by heating up, or at least attempting to heat up, the pork rib and the Santa Fe rice and beans in this flameless ration heater. I'm just going to put the pork rib into the flameless ration heater, make it easier to activate and so it can work a little bit better. And I'll put the rice and beans on the back inside of the heating sleeve. Something about the rice and beans, it's kind of funny, as I was picking it up, it felt a little bit weird. It actually has the impression of the kippered beef snack just sort of ingrained into it. Break that up a little bit. Give this a chance to get activated before I add the salt. Oh, that's actually starting up right away. Looks like it's going to be a good one. Just put that in here before it gets too hot. It obviously doesn't always happen, but lately I've had a lot of luck with these older flameless ration heaters. You can get them to go beyond 3 to 5 years and still work. That's really good. Even though it's not food that will go bad, for whatever reason these do tend to go bad. Alright, so we'll give that about 10 to 15 minutes to heat up, and while we're waiting we'll check everything else out. Here's the wheat snack bread twin pack. Date code of 4014, January 14th, 2014. There's that standard wheat snack bread smell. So you can see these are kind of in the opposite direction, but it's two little pieces of wheat snack bread that hopefully I can get apart without ripping. And the idea of this is put the pork patty right between here, and you can make a nice sandwich like that without having to have all that thick, dry bread that really makes you thirsty. I think what we'll do is, because of the fact that we do have peanut butter and jelly, I think we'll use one for the sandwich and one for the peanut butter and jelly. And as I mentioned, this is one of the MREs with the really small entree, the 2.6 ounce entree. So usually they make up for it with something else, and this overall seems to be a pretty good meal, but I did notice that it doesn't really have a real dessert to it. It does have the peanut butter and jelly that I mentioned, and you could kind of say if you eat the pork rib as your entree, you could have that as a dessert or a side or something. And the only other thing that really is like a snack or side or a dessert is the kippered beef snack. It has a date code of 4078. It's from Bulls. It actually has a date code on it too, 4027. That smells good. It smells like a really good beef jerky. Alright, and as I'm looking at this stuff, this is a pretty simple meal. We have these challenge cool mints. Other than that, that's really all there is to eat. You have 10 of these mints. Kind of smell like Altoids. And it's really just the peanut butter, jelly, and barbecue sauce. So I guess we'll go ahead and put the peanut butter and jelly on one of the wheat snack breads. The peanut butter, good and eating. And then the apple jelly, which doesn't really require kneading, but since it has been sitting in the package for 5 years, it's not a bad idea to mix it up a little bit. Alright, then we have our two beverages, the Tropical Punch beverage base powder and the raspberry beverage base. And this little tube is supposed to go into 20 ounces of water, which obviously the most convenient way to do that is with a bottle of water. This one has a little bit under 20, but close enough. I kind of like my drinks to be a little bit stronger anyway. Since I'm reviewing it, I want to know what it tastes like. Got a good shake. Looks good. It smells a little on the artificial side, but not too bad. And got a lot more in here too. And the Tropical Punch is going to take 12 ounces of water. It's an interesting combination. I wonder if that was done on purpose to have Tropical Punch and raspberry. They're both two red ones. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it seems like they could have been a little bit more for variety. Let's transfer that to a smaller glass, like that. And so we have our two beverages. That's just going to leave us with our entree and our side. Let's start off with the rice. Oh, that's heated up really nice. I'm almost amazed by how well that flameless ration heater worked. It's actually too hot to handle. I just knead it up a little bit. It's actually not only really hot, but I moved it around so it was different parts were touching the flameless ration heater, and it's actually pretty evenly heated too. first impression, it looks like it's like refried beans. I guess you can see a little bit of the rice in there, but and that looks good. It's not quite as evenly heated as I thought. There's some spots here that are not looking as heated, but that's alright. And now for the star of the show. Which is also very hot. And these tend to have a little bit of juice in them. Which I usually just put right into the tray. You can kind of see it in there. But to do this kind of as a sandwich, I'm just going to actually take this out of here and put it right onto the wheat snack bread. And that sauce is pretty tasty. It's kind of strong. It's pretty savory, salty. All right, that's everything. There's the barbecue pork rib here. First time I've had one of these in a while. And the rice, it looks pretty good. I actually tried it a little bit, and it's actually pretty tasty. But you can see, the rice and the beans are basically, it's like a refried kind of bean. There's a little bit of red pepper here. Let's say there's chilies and chili peppers. And one thing that's kind of neat, it actually has olives in it. You can actually see this black olives. It's kind of a nice touch. And actually, why don't we go ahead and give this a taste. And there's corn in there too. We'll try that out while it's still warm. That's good. There's not a ton of flavor, but one of my least favorite sides is the refried beans, just because it's just so bland. It's not a bad side, but it's just very bland. This one has a little bit of flavor to it, and you have the rice, and you have the corn, the olives, all there to give you a little bit of texture. And they do add to the flavor too a little bit. Let me give this pork rib a taste on its own. So let's say we try it like that before we barbecue it up. And obviously this is an imitation pork rib. It's just has these like fake lines on it, so it looks like a rib, but it's just pork meat chopped and formed into the shape of a rib. Yeah, that's good. It's actually interesting having it without the barbecue, because it does has a similarity to the McRib, but this is what really kind of turns it into a McRib. Kind of have to douse it with that stuff. And we'll give that a try. It's been a long time. It's good. It's kind of funny because of the shape of this and the size of it. It makes me think of the maple sausage patties, which I've had a lot of in the past 7.5 years, but I actually don't really remember the flavor of this. It's kind of been so long. I will say that the wheat snack bread kind of detracts from the flavor of it overall, just because it has that wheat snack bread flavor to it. But it makes for a nice little sandwich. And as I said, this is kind of bland. It's not something you think of putting barbecue sauce on, but I have a feeling that'll help. It's kind of a sweet barbecue sauce. Not really spicy or anything, it's got a little bit of a tanginess to it. Nothing wrong with that. A little bit of these together. Yeah, it's quite good. This is the, I believe this is the tropical punch. That's good. It's weird. It almost has a bit of a peppermint kind of a flavor to it. That could be something from being in storage for 5 years. It might be coming through from the packaging. It doesn't taste bad, but it's a little bit odd. But nice refreshing drink to cleanse the palate. And now that we're having the rib, I think it's time for the last special thing that we mentioned, is the Subway sandwich. As I said, this is the first time I've had one of these, so let's just do a quick comparison of what the Subway patty looks like compared to the MRE patty. It's a little bit more pale. It's definitely a similar animal. And this has barbecue sauce on it. I ended up getting lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and olives just because. And it has provolone too. But let me see if I can try the rib itself. It's actually pretty bland on its own. I think it's going to be better with the barbecue sauce. And that's pretty good. I think if I had gotten a few less vegetables on it, just got the pickles and maybe some onions, it would be a lot like the McRib, but with better bread. Subway bread is pretty good. It's definitely similar because it's such a processed meat. It doesn't taste exactly the same. Obviously the barbecue sauces are a little bit different. The bread's different. Much better on the Subway one than this one. But I actually think that the pork rib tastes a little bit better on this one by itself. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, why don't we try this kippered beef snack? It's not bad. It tastes like kind of like your standard beef jerky. I like the fact that it's sort of thick and it's easy to chew. It's easy to bite into. It's not going to like break your teeth or anything. And it has a pretty mild flavor overall. It kind of tastes like a Slim Jim. Yeah, that's what the flavor is. It's like the flavor of a Slim Jim. Not bad after sitting in a package for 5 years. I didn't think it would be bad, but I was kind of afraid it might be dried out a little bit. Let me try this raspberry drink. That's good. That's something different. It's not your standard MRE drink. I mean, it is now because it's been around for a few years, but it tastes a little bit better than some of the other ones. It's not quite as artificial tasting. I mean, it is artificial, but it's a nice flavor. A nice change from like lemon, lime, and orange and all that kind of stuff. And we'll try the peanut butter and jelly on the wheat snack bread. The peanut butter and jelly themselves both seem to be fine. And they go well together. Tastes really good. The wheat snack bread is the worst thing about that. Just because of that flavor, that artificial kind of bread flavor. I was looking at everything other than the mince. I'll have a mint at the end. But as I said, this video is special for a few reasons. First off, for the last reason I mentioned was because we had a chance to compare it to a Subway BBQ Rib Sandwich. Second of all, it was an MRE Review Redo video where I looked at something I already looked at in the past, and that was kind of nice, trying something out again and after more years of experience. And quite a few years between trying the pork rib. And the third reason is that this is a collaboration video with Magnum 62, so you're going to get two completely different opinions on this menu, even though the menu might be a little bit different. And as it turns out, there's actually one other thing that's going to make this special that I wasn't planning on, but we're actually going to get a third opinion. We're going to get mine, we're going to get Magnum's, and it turns out Mrs. gschultz9 came home early, and she's actually here and is going to try this out too. Alright. Hello, Mrs. gschultz9.
Hello.
It's been a while since you had an MRE.
It has been a while. Oh my gosh. Can't even remember the last one I tried.
Yeah, it's probably for the best, right?
Probably. But hey, you know what? Back to it.
Alright. And so what we have here today is we have a rib-shaped barbecue flavor pork patty, also known as a barbecue pork rib.
Rib-shaped?
Rib-shaped. It's
okay.
It's basically
I see
meat
it.
that's chopped up and formed to make it look like it's
Oh, I see the shape.
like a rib and
It
like pork ribs. So basically the same as a McRib from McDonald's, if you've ever had one of those.
You're joking, right?
Have you ever had one of those?
No.
Okay. Well, you'll get an idea what they taste like.
Okay.
But we have the barbecue pork rib with barbecue sauce already on it.
Okay.
I did try it on its own, it's a little bit on the bland side. Then we have Santa Fe rice and beans.
Ooh, I've had that before.
I'm not sure if you've had this one, because I don't think
Really?
I've ever had this before. This actually has...
Oh, if you've never had it, then I
in addition to the peppers and stuff, it also has corn and olives in it, which is kind of a nice touch.
Festive.
And basically this is like instead of having refried beans, because the beans in it are pretty much like refried beans. And then we have wheat snack bread with peanut butter and apple jelly. We have a kippered beef snack, and we have mince with caffeine. For beverages, we have raspberry and tropical punch.
Wow. It's delightful. All right, so where should I go first?
Wherever you want. I mean, if you want to start with the entree. You can
All right,
have
I'll start with the entree. Oh, dear Lord. It's not going to fall off the bread thing, is it? Okay. All right, here we go. So the rib-shaped entree I thought was pretty tasty. The sauce, is that part of the meal? Oh, it is part of the meal. Okay.
Yeah, but it does come separate. You may actually put it on
Okay.
yourself. And
It's tasty.
I should have given you a try of it before, but it was a little bit on the bland side.
Oh, the sauce was?
No, the patty itself.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely tell.
Yeah,
Let me try the sauce.
Before putting the barbecue sauce on. And if you want to see what's in it, this is the ingredients for the pork patty. A lot of stuff in there.
I don't know if I do want to see.
You probably won't.
Okay.
And then as you're about to try the rice
Santa
and beans,
Fe.
that's what's in there.
And is any sauce on that?
Actually, yeah, this side does have a little bit of barbecue sauce. If you try the other side, you can try it without.
Okay. It tastes very creamy. It almost... Is there dairy in it or cheese?
There actually is, yeah.
Okay.
It does say cream. Which includes skim milk, cream, salt, xanthan gum,
It's
a bunch of other things.
rich. I definitely taste the...
And actually lower in the ingredients it says pasteurized milk cream.
Okay.
It's part of the cheese. There's cheese in it. Pasteurized processed American cheese,
Aha.
which includes cultured pasteurized milk cream, milk fat. So
Definitely tastes the creaminess in that. It's very mild though. It's not spicy. It's not too spicy.
True. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
But I think the creaminess also helps to cut any of the very kickiness of it. But I thought it was tasty. All right, if I go in order, I think the rib is my favorite so far, but maybe just because of the barbecue sauce.
I suppose that's true. I was thinking just because the fact it was so processed, I was thinking you would like that better.
Yeah.
And that was a really good point about it not being spicy because it is Southwest, so you would expect it to have some, or Santa Fe, so you'd expect it to have some spiciness to it, and it really doesn't.
I really am a sucker for condiments, and that barbecue sauce was actually quite tasty.
Hot sauce probably would have been even better for you.
Oh, yeah. I would agree. I'm going to pick this sucker up. All right. So this is PB&J?
Yeah, it's peanut butter and apple jelly.
Okay. All right, give it a whirl. Tasty.
Yeah, MRE peanut butter is good. And the apple jelly is nice. You don't always get that. They seem like they go good together. I think probably the worst thing about this and this is that they're on wheat snack bread, and the wheat snack bread itself doesn't taste great.
No.
It's okay.
But it's a good mechanism for delivering food and just having it on something. Yeah. I think that's really tasty. Let me go back to... Did I try this without the barbecue?
Yeah,
I probably did.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll try it again. Yeah, I like it. So besides the beans, what else gives it the texture?
Well, there's the rice in there.
Oh, okay.
That's the main thing because it's rice. They call it rice and beans, but it's like rice and refried beans more than anything. And there is corn in addition to the olives and some peppers.
Okay. I like that. All right, let me see what the juice is all about. So you have...
Tropical punch.
Oh, this is the tropical punch.
I'm about to run out of battery power too, so we'll get this. What do you think?
The tropical punch, I think, is punchy. Not too sweet, though. I think it's nice. And then this is what?
That is the raspberry beverage.
It falls a little flat for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I prefer the fruit punch.
I think so.
It was kind of the opposite.
Were you really?
Partially just because this is something different. You don't really get this in MREs all the time.
You know what they say? Opposites attract.
Opposites attract.
They do say that. Let's see. Okay, so you're going on it based on the fact that the raspberries are unique.
Kind of. I like them both. I mean, I really don't have any problem with either of them, but if I had to pick one.
All right. And then what's this in the middle?
This is the kippered beef snack.
Oh, good Lord. I'm going to smell it.
Oh, you like
it's like jerky. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. To me, it tastes like a Slim Jim.
What's kippered mean?
That's one of those words, I guess.
I thought kipper was a fish.
Yeah, that's what I always think when I see that. But I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to know. It's a way of preparing meat, a way of drying meat, I'm guessing. All
right, so somebody out there who's more intelligent in the world of kipperedness, let us know.
Yeah. What did you think besides the name?
That is some serious something. It's got it's a strange texture. If it's supposed to be like jerky, it's a little different. It's, kind of the...
It's kippered.
It's kippered. Wow.
All right, so this is also a pretty simple one. There's not really a lot. I mean, you basically tried everything. What'd you think overall?
I think it was a great meal. I mean, there are a lot of options. Thank goodness they give you all the mince. Woo!
I was going to say, when you mentioned that, I was going to say, should we finish up by each trying a mint? So this has caffeine in it.
It's almost bedtime for me. It's nearly 8 o'clock.
You can taste it. You don't have to have the whole thing.
All right.
But
cheers. Think. Minty.
I thought they smell kind of like Altoids, but they're not as strong as Altoids.
Why?
Pretty mild mint.
Mm-hmm.
I almost tastes like after dinner mint from a restaurant with those like those square things that are. But it'll come in handy if you're on a fire watch in the middle of the night. You need to stay awake. Not too crazy about it.
I don't think I'm going to see myself on fire watch anytime soon.
All right. Well.
But I appreciate all who are.
Yeah, well, thank you for the input. As I mentioned to the viewers, this is actually getting 3 different opinions because there's my opinion, your opinion, and it's also a collaboration video with Magnum 62. So I haven't seen his yet, and I don't know what he's going to think, but there'll be a link down below and people can check out his too and get 3 different opinions on this one menu.
That's so cool. You sure you don't want a 4th? We can go out in the street, find somebody
I
else.
suppose we could, but this is already getting kind of long.
Fair enough, fair enough. Bye, everyone.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, so that was a look at a genuine MRE. It was menu number 16, rib-shaped barbecue flavor pork patty from 2014. Part of a MRE Review Redo, also part of a collaboration with Magnum 62, and also a bit of a comparison with a McRib type sandwich from Subway, and a special unexpected guest appearance by Mrs. gschultz9. So I hope you've made it through this, and thank you for watching.